Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcast, your regular injection of strange, weird, bizarre news from locally and around the world. This is episode 394 now. As always, I am joined by Rob. How you doing there, Rob?
Not too bad, mate. Yeah, can't complain. Not much is going on, really. Apart from, just the wider events of the world. AI, Trump, COVID.
A lot's been going on recently, hasn't it, over the last few weeks? Yeah, it's too much, Rob. It's too much. It's overwhelming. And that's why, Rob, we are here as an oasis, a sanctuary.
Correct.
From all of that, to give people the stupidest side, often almost intriguing, bizarre, weird side of human nature. I don't know. I still can't summarise or capture adequately what this podcast has been covering for the last God knows how many years. But do we have any news before we get on with this?
Just one bit from me, but let's focus on the latest submission by Face the Strange, which I've sent to you.
You have.
It's just made me chuckle. It's nothing particularly clever. It's just Face the Strange has mocked up an age concern over in London with the sign. Oh, actually, I haven't got it in front of me. What does it say? Hang on a sec. Sorry.
It says like donations needed, but underneath it says no sperm.
Yeah, in big letters, which is obviously taken from the podcast where we were talking about. It was a man who wasn't been banned from donating. Of
course it was. Yes.
Did you not get the reference?
Very good. I did. It rang a bell, but yeah, now you mention it. Yeah, of course.
So
thank you, Face.
Yeah, the sign says bag donations only, and in big red letters, no sperm.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. And I just wanted to feature this headline, which I found amusing in The Guardian. I wasn't planning to feature the story, but it's by Laura Snapes. And the headline is, "The pet I'll never forget. I was so proud of my sea monkeys until their orgies repulsed me."
Yeah, I saw that as well. I didn't read the story. Anything?
No, I didn't. I thought the headline was enough. I don't know why. And it's interesting. Neither of us decided that we felt it would be. The byline is deprive of pets for most of my childhood. My first came out of a sachet. They were educational and prize winning, but I couldn't overlook their incessant sexual bacchanal. Is it bacchanalia? Bacchanal? I don't know how to say that word.
Know.
Yeah. That's it though. That's it in terms of news.
Okay. What creatures did she say they were?
Sea monkeys.
What are sea monkeys, Rob?
Aren't they? I think are they brine shrimp? I think that's right. They're very. Oh, are they brine shrimp? No, they're not. What are they? I do know what they are. I can't remember. But basically, they're.
Okay, Rob. I'm gonna have to look. Why are they called sea monkeys?
I think that's whichever company decides to market them. I think that's.
You're right. Sorry, Rob. You were right. It's the marketing term for brine shrimp sold as novelty aquarium pets.
There we are.
I like the phrase novelty aquarium pets, Rob. I think that's a good name for an indie band.
It absolutely is, yeah. But what I'm amazed is that they are still selling to this day, and someone must be buying them. God knows who. Have you ever seen them? I mean, they're quite strange little things, and they are tiny.
No, I don't know. What kind of life do they? I don't know. I don't understand things like that, really.
I suppose if you want to teach a child responsibility for having a pet, although it feels like, I'll be honest.
But is it a pet? Are they even sentient, really? I mean,
well, can you argue that any pet that's been freeze dried is that worth having? Just putting it out there.
Yeah, good point, Rob. Right, look, Rob, let's get on with this. Talking about pets, one such pet, Rob, that people have is a dog. And thinking of foods which are kind of named after animals, that makes me think of a hot dog. And this story is about hot dogs. There's your segue. This is from NBCDFW.com. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, the NBC is clear. I don't know what DFW stands for, and I can't be asked to work it out. But this is by a the fantastically named journalist, Gerardo Pons.
Nice.
Pons.
It's not a name you hear a lot, Gerardo, is it? No, it's quite unique.
I wonder... No, it's not just Gerardo, it's Ponce. But I wonder as well, can you pronounce it Ponce? Gerardo Ponce, which, by the way, needs to go on our list. Gerardo Ponce is a brilliant name, Rob.
See, I've just watched the episode of Seinfeld where Kramer gets arrested for looking like a pimp after borrowing the coat from Joseph in his Technicolor Dreamcoat. And Gerardo Ponce sounds like it would be a good name for a pimp.
It does. And this makes me think... Are the words ponce and nonce related?
I'm going to say no. They might be.
You don't
I don't think they are, no.
Did you know, Rob, that the word nonce has its origins at HMP Wakefield prison? That's where it comes from. It was also known as Monster Mansion. It was a prison known for having some of the most notorious and vile inmates who've committed the worst of all crimes. All prisoners locked up there were classified as Category A. Sick individuals who served or are serving there include Hannibal the Cannibal, Robert Maudsley, and Britain's... I'm not going to keep going. Dr. Harold Shipman, things like that. And the word nonce originally originated in the Wakefield prison and comes from an acronym used by staff there. The acronym nonce stands for... Do you want to guess what it stands for, Rob? Come on, you're an intelligent man.
I wonder if it's to... Is it something about not to come in contact and not... I think the C is contact.
Very close. No, not on normal courtyard exercise.
Oh, it's close.
So that's what made a nonce, Rob.
Not on normal courtyard exercise. Wow.
I did not know that. Yeah,
entertaining and educating, Alex. That's what I've always said about this podcast.
Absolutely. Right. So this is by Gerardo Pons, or Ponce, from June the 2nd, 2023. Headline, Sonic employee arrested after losing bag of cocaine in customer's hot dog, police say.
So did you say Sonic employee?
Yeah, Sonic is a restaurant is a bit over-egging it, but like kind of like fast food outlet in the United States.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you just... So he's lost his bag of cocaine.
This has nothing to do with Sega.
No, okay, fair. Okay, good to know.
Don't want to be back in court with them, Rob.
No, the last time was... it didn't end well for us.
So a New Mexico Sonic employee has been arrested after allegedly losing a bag of cocaine while preparing a hot dog. Authorities say 54-year-old Jeffrey David Salazar was arrested Tuesday in Española after a woman found a bag of white powder inside her order. The woman, identified as Celine Gonzalez, told police she discovered the baggie after taking a bite of her hot dog. Officers say Gonzalez then spit out the bag, but didn't say whether she ingested any of the drugs, so we don't know if she spit.
Okay, right.
I think that's pretty scary. She said, "We come here to get food for our families. If a child find that, it could have been pretty bad or deadly." In a court filing, officers claimed that surveillance video from the restaurant showed Salazar frantically searching for something lost after making her order. So she orders a hot dog. Why is he preparing a hot dog holding a bag of cocaine, Rob?
I mean, that would imply to me that he literally was dipping into it as he cooked. I mean, let's face it, it's going to be quite a shitty job, to flipping burgers. I mean, no one actively starts their life wanting to aspire to be a burger flipper.
You know that, Rob. There might be some people for whom it's a real vocation.
Yeah, that's true.
I often think about people who work in these sort of things and think, are you either constantly hungry because of the smell of food, or are you just constantly not hungry because it just puts you off?
See, I remember hearing, I don't know where I heard this, but I remember someone saying who used to work for Cadbury's, and they were saying that literally because they were around chocolate so every day of the week, well, whenever they were working, obviously, it actually put them off. They couldn't eat chocolate anymore.
But did it also lead to sort of mental breakdown? So, like over Easter, the kids around, somebody brings them an Easter egg and you just start smashing them up.
Everyone knows, Alex, the best way to start eating an Easter egg is just to punch a fist into it. So, I mean, they could have been in their element. Just imagine walking to a Sainsbury's and just facing all the Easter eggs.
Yeah. In a court filing, officers claimed... Salazar admitted to investigators the drugs belonged to him and told them he bought them from someone in the Sonic parking lot. Following the incident, Sonic sounds like a place I really want to go, I must say. Drug dealing in the parking lot might get a free bag of cocaine.
I was about to say, maybe this is the equivalent to the Happy Meal. You buy a meal and you get some Class A's on the side.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Breaking Bad is all set in New Mexico, this is just perfect. And Española is a town located around 90 miles north of Albuquerque, for anybody who wants to know. Right. Next story, Rob, is from Phil Star Life, the Philippine Star. Okay, it's by Brooke Villanueva from June the 4th, 2023. Man gets fired from his job, Rob, for taking toilet breaks for 6 hours every day.
So, I mean, it may be different, but obviously in this country, the average working day is 8 hours. So he's literally, I mean, for about 75% of his day, he's in the toilet. Right.
Yes, yeah. A man in China has been fired for taking up to 6 hours in the toilet every day during his 8-hour work shift, Rob. So
okay.
Right. According to Ladong Daily, the Chinese court recently ruled that the daily toilet breaks of the man surnamed Wang were not within reasonable and normal physiological needs, even though he cited health concerns as his reason for needing the toilet breaks.
Okay.
The local media outlet reported that the employee had surgery due to an anorectal problem. Now, I've never heard, I mean, obviously there's the word rectal in there, but what does anorectal mean? I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, it sounds like you're just stating the same thing twice.
They include conditions involving the anorectal junction. Okay, that's not really helped me.
I think I've been there, the anorectal junction.
Anorectal.
It's on the line to Crewe.
It's in, I thought it was in Swindon. Anorectal, hang on. Anorectal. Let's get some images up. Anorectal.
Alex, do you really want images up? Just out of interest.
Anorectal.
Listeners, Alex looks completely perplexed at this point in time. I'm not entirely sure what images he's looking at, but he does look engrossed.
I don't really understand anorectal. Oh, so you might have no anal opening. We knew somebody, Rob, who told us that they were born with that disorder.
Yes, we did. Although I didn't know that about this person, and
he told me it. I think it was our first or second meeting that I knew him, and he told me it over lunch. I
mean, as an opening gambit, it's going to spark a conversation, isn't it?
Yeah. He told me he was born without a bumhole.
He told me that never happened. He just wanted to start a conversation with you.
Anyway, the man. So yeah, he said he's got an anorectal problem, but the pain persisted months later. Oh, he had surgery, but the pain persisted months later. He said his health condition forced his need to stay in the toilet from 3 to 6 hours every day, starting in July 2015. Official records of the unnamed company in Tajin state that Wang, for instance, used the loo over 20 times from September the 7th to September the 15th. Alone. The man got dismissed from the firm in September 2015 as the latter cited their rules in line with tardiness, absences, and leaving work earlier than expected. Wang appealed his termination a month later and asked to get his job back. The labour dispute eventually reached the High Court, but the judge did not rule in favour of him as authorities found the company's decision legal and justified. Well, I mean, really, I don't know. If the problems were that severe, maybe, I don't know, he needed, I don't think that's fair, but he needed some sort of, I don't know, toilet work seat sort of thing.
I mean, if you've had a job where you can work from home, I mean, he can literally just work from the toilet, he can shit himself as well.
Have you ever done that, Rob? Have you ever well, I probably shouldn't say, but have you? I mean,
no.
Ever sat on the toilet on a Zoom?
Hand on heart, I can honestly say I've never answered any, well, actually.
Okay, I've nipped off to urinate before, but to put my screen
I've definitely done that. I did that a lot during COVID. And also, I think I may have responded to one or two work emails whilst having my work phone in my hand, but I've never been on an actual sort of meeting whilst defecating. Good
to know. Okay, last story, Rob. Again, this is from the Traitorous Guardian. It's from Colorado in the United States. It's just a story reprinted from the Associated Press. I love this story, Rob. I love it. US driver pulled over for speeding, tried to switch places with dog, police say.
Obviously, that's a very panicked thought process, but a thought process that's gone horribly, horribly wrong because, you can understand why, because obviously it means that his dog his dog wouldn't be prosecuted, but also, would you not think that it would be even more irresponsible for the dog to be driving his car?
Well, quite. This is a very short story, so we're going to have to piece together the details ourselves. A driver who was pulled over for speeding and appeared to officers to be drunk, tried to switch places with his dog in an attempt to avoid arrest. An officer watched the motorist manoeuvring inside the car before he got out of the passenger side on Saturday night in Springfield, a town of about 1,300 people on Colorado's eastern plains, police said on a Facebook post on Sunday. So it's good to see that in America as well, they're using social media to update people on amusing crimes. Clearly showing signs of being drunk, the man said he was not behind the wheel, police said. He ran from the officer when asked about how many drinks he'd had before being pulled over and was caught within about 18 metres. After being taken to the hospital to be checked out, the man was arrested on suspicion of charges including driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, driving with impaired ability, and being wanted on previous arrest warrants. So to be clear, this man is driving with his dog. He's drunk. When he gets pulled over, the police see him manoeuvring into the passenger side. He gets out and goes, "What's the problem, you officer?" They say, "You seem to be drunk driving." He says, "Not me driving, it's the dog." And that's his defense.
Yeah, and the fact that he felt that would be a better, I don't know, defence and somehow, better defence that his dog was driving, despite the fact he was utterly unbelievable. I mean, he must have been quite drunk at this point.
Okay, Rob, you got a story for us there, my friend.
Yes. So my first story is from the NDTV website, which I believe actually covers India, but this is a story from the US. It's by Anjali Thakur from the 28th of May, and the headline is US high school students pour cement into toilet as part of prank, investigation underway.
There's been a lot of talk recently, Rob. I don't know if you've kind of been listening to it, but about sort of pranks in the press recently, because apparently in the UK you can, because of certain laws around things, you can get away with quite extreme things as long as they come under the remit of a prank and people having to look into it. Yeah, for example, like breaking into people's homes and things like that. So you can get away with quite a lot. What do you think about the amount of things you see, like, I don't know, climbing buildings you're not meant to climb and you say it's a prank or whatever it is? So yeah, this is interesting. I'm interested to hear about it. Cement in the toilet.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So a group of North Carolina students poured cement into toilets at the high school as part of a senior prank, according to the New York Post. Williams High School is now investigating the matter that's caused over $4,000 worth of damages. According to the district on Thursday, the students broke into the school in Burlington and poured the mix into a number of toilets and urinals. So Alex, not just
about
toilets,
you, Rob, but
the urinals as well.
I mean, we were talking about defecation earlier, but there have been times, where I've,
You clogged the... we all know where you're going with that, yeah. So pictures have surfaced which show toilets now unattached from plumbing, covered in a thick layer of concrete in a bowl. One ball... Yeah. In one ball? That be one bowl? No. One ball apparently even had a tennis ball in. I don't know why, but I don't think they mean ball. I think they mean one bowl even had a tennis ball. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. They just had ball on the mind. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. So the damage cost more than $4,000, as they've already said. The district has warned the students that those responsible will be potentially charged and suspended, which is always a bit... This is their senior pranks, Alex. This is the last thing they do at school, and as a result of this, they could be suspended. Yeah,
you can't give it, Rob. It's a lot of damage. Are they saying that they clogged up the toilets in a way that nobody could see they were clogged up, so that when they were used, the water and the shit couldn't go anywhere?
No, it's not like the old Kling film of the toilet seat. The fact that these were very obviously just have been filled in with concrete and were completely unusable after that point.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay to cause your school $4,000 worth of damage because you happen to be leaving and you think it's fun. No, it isn't. Your life should be ruined after that.
Interestingly, the district went on to say, they've, despite the threats they've already made, they did say, if those caught as seniors, they can flush their dreams of participating in their graduation ceremony down the drain. Alex, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. I just never used Google Meet's things before, and I'm now wearing a cowboy hat, and I will keep it on for the duration. Does it look good?
It's not just a cowboy hat, Alex. You've also donned a grey moustache and a handkerchief around the neck.
I have. It's hang on a minute. Let's try this one. Yeah, cool dude. How do I look now?
It kind of looks like Marty's hat from Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, it does. Can you describe for the listeners?
Well, I've just did, Alex. It kind of looks like Marty's hat from Back to the Future too. It's kind of that reflective.
And headphones.
Headphones. Sorry, yeah. I realised you. Sorry, I completely thought you weren't wearing headphones. Oh, now you're
Sorry,
on.
Rob. I'm on holiday at the moment.
Yeah,
they're not bad, are they?
Alex, can I just point out that last week you openly admitted to read The Guardian whilst I was trying to read headphones. Whilst I was trying to read articles, and now you're messing with backgrounds.
Yeah, I think I've got. Okay, I'll keep on the hat and.
Right,
as long
great.
as it's not too distracting. Is it? Yeah.
No, it's fine. Let's just crack on. Right. So
anyway, so next story.
My next story. Now, Alex, we've featured a lot of stories recently about Blackpool Zoo and their.
We're not going
efforts.
back there, are we?
Well, no, we're not. No, but obviously, for those who probably don't know, where have you been? But also, so Blackpool Zoo are trying to recruit a team of Seagull deterrents. By doing that, they're dressing up as a massive seagull, with in a costume.
No, an eagle, Rob. They're hiring people.
Yeah, of course.
Young teenagers, basically. You know, people who need an easy wage to dress up in an eagle, a very crude eagle outfit.
Well, this is related to that. So this is from the Yorkshire Live by Douglas Whitbread and Alex Grove. And the headline is, it's from the 28th of May. Yorkshire teenager dresses up as eagle to scare off seagulls in Whitby and earns up to £200 a day.
So sorry, has he got this idea from them then, it seems to me? And also, that's a lot of money to be earning a day.
Yeah, I thought that. £200 a day, Alex.
Yeah, hang on a minute. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah.
Hang on a minute.
So if he's working 5 days a week, we're looking, he's earning $4,000 a month.
If he keeps that up, he's talking about like 60 grand a fucking year. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I imagine.
Rob, I know you're not allowed to visit certain websites anymore, but could you point me towards a novelty outfit store? I mean, I don't want to get you going again. I know.
I think the court said that they managed to somehow lock them all down. I don't know. I can't even access them anymore.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. But is this something we could do? Why don't we we get a van? And we go, anybody's got a problem with seagulls, we say we will get rid of them, £200 a day. £250 a day each.
Yeah. I mean, that I thought we're pricing ourselves on the market. This guy only charges $200. It needs to be, let's say £210 a day, make it worth our while.
But you can dress up as an eagle and I'll stay in the van to monitor what's happening.
Right. Sure. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah, I can't see a flaw with that plan.
Good.
So, a Yorkshire teenager pockets up to £200 by dressing up in an inflatable eagle outfit to scare off seagulls.
Well, do you know we have an inordinate amount? I mean, over the years, again, I would it's too late now, Rob, but if only we had started a database at the beginning, like with tags.
Yes.
Cat story, dog story, Florida story, whatever it is, and we could see, because we have had a lot of stories about seagulls over the years. That one of our, do you see what I mean? They'd be up there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there would be. And a seagull, I think, it's definitely one of the animals, well, birds technically, that feature most on this podcast. Look, anyway, let's get into the story. So, savvy Corey Grieveson, 18, spends the day prowling Whitby Harbour as an eagle to try and stop seagulls from nicking people's fish and chips. He earns a pretty penny from tips, but the gulls have seemingly started dishing out their own revenge by pooping on his spotlessly clean car every day.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. I mean, bird shit, that is one of my bugbears, I'm going to be honest. I got the car washed the other day. You know how much it costs to get your fucking car washed nowadays, and within 2 days, I had bird shit on it. And I'm just like, for fuck's sake, I can't be arsed. Like,
a real first world problem there by Alex.
But is it okay?
Yes, it is, Alex. Yeah, absolutely is. So Corey apparently was hired by fish and chip owner Alex Boyd, 31, who needed to employ a living seagull deterrent. Corey, who jokes that he speaks English.
Sorry.
Yes.
Living seagull deterrent. Let's just soak that in for a second, Rob. Breathe that in. Living seagull deterrent. Sorry,
I misread that, Alex. A live seagull deterrent, although living seagull deterrent would sound better, but a live seagull deterrent.
Either way. Right. No, wait, Rob, I want to say something. We've got an ongoing debate at the moment in this country and in much of the Western world about migration.
Yeah.
Right? It's a really, really pressing topic. What if when you enter this country from abroad, yeah, seeking a home here, Rob, and a life, instead of being put on a barge or whatever, one of these the ideas that are just make me want to cry.
Yep.
Why don't we make these people, while they wait to find a vocation or wait to find out what we're going to do with them, they can be living seagull deterrents in the meantime. You just send them out onto the beaches.
Yep.
We would feed them, clothe them, but that's what they do.
Yeah, like live seagull deterrents. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Alex. And maybe they can then, we won't pay them. Obviously, that's too much. But they can earn at the end of the day a bag of fish and chips. That sounds fair.
Yes, but also because obviously that won't work all around the country. There might be a bit of overspill. So elsewhere, that's more inland, they can work as scarecrows.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's great. Standing in an open field all day long in the blazing sunshine to get a nice healthy tan. What more could you possibly ask for?
Do you know what, though? This isn't too far. Obviously, Rob and I are saying this but we're parodying sort of right-wing policies. I can imagine, we're now living in an age where I can imagine somebody on the Tory backbenches saying something like this.
Yeah, and it not being a joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, look, Corrie speaks Eaglish, apparently, and tourists love seeing him doing his job and often asking for pictures. People absolutely love it. They approach me asking for pictures, and why not? I feel like a bit of celebrity. So Corrie, who grew up in Whitby, starts working at 6 a.m. He patrols around the harbourfront during the summer months and even helps holidaymakers from seagull attacks. He once made 72 quid from tips in just a day. When he came to the aid of a wedding party, he said, I went over, did my job, and they said, this is for doing that and looking after us. There were maybe about 60 people. So basically, Alex, what he does is anyone who's got fish and chips, he just runs at them, and that's how he makes his money. So Mr. Boyd, co-owner of Mr. Chips, whose fans include the Grand Tour's James May, don't know why that's relevant, says he employs Corrie near his takeaway shop by Whitby West Pier, and he said that since the team has come on board, Punter's been overjoyed with his valiant work. He said, we've been down on the pier for a number of years, but there's been a massive problem with seagulls. It's just got worse and worse and worse. I tried putting out big fake eagles on sticks, but they just got wise to it. They knew it wasn't a real bird. They're really clever. So I spoke to Corrie and said, would you fancy working in the shop through the winter and in the summer that's being a full-time seagull scarer? Corrie has quite a bit of banter with the customers. When they come and speak to him, he will make bird noises back. He says, I don't speak English, I only speak seagull. I'm going to leave it there, Alex, because you kind of get the gist of what's going on here.
Yeah, dickhead. Okay, Rob, it's time for our listener story of the week. What you got and who's it from? And it can't be Khyber, because if it's going to be Khyber, then we've got to have a new section of the show called Khyber's Corner.
No, it's not Khyber. We're going to bookend the episode with Face of Strange this week.
Oh, wonderful. Good. And it would have been wonderful to have heard from you as well, Khyber, but, just variety is the spice of life. That's why Quality Street isn't just one chocolate.
What? Sorry, that went over my head.
Imagine if you opened a box of Quality Street, Rob, and it was all the same chocolate repeated over and over. What makes a box of Quality Street or any other similar box of chocolates fun
right.
is a variety, exactly. Life is like a box of chocolates, Rob. You never know what you're going to get.
Let's not start quoting shitty.
Yeah.
Let's go quotes.
I don't like, Rob, I've got this thing. I liked Tom Hanks movies when he was in those early comedies. Once he became a serious actor, I don't want to see things with Tom Hanks in it. I liked him in Toy Story, stuff like that. But to me, he was still best when it was things like Turner and Hooch, The Burbs, etc. Dragnet.
I was listening to...
Same with Bill Murray.
The last edit of this podcast, and a thought struck me. We should change the name of this podcast to two middle-aged men reciting anecdotes repeatedly.
The same ones? Have I mentioned that before though as well? Probably.
I mean, Alex, not just before, several times.
Oh right, okay. Tom Hanks might want to, lot of prestige and awards, but he made a mistake, in my opinion.
Well, maybe drop an email to tell him that. I'm sure he'll respond. So, look, this is from the BBC News website by Kevin Shoesmith from the 26th of May. Cadbury Flake too crumbly for 99s, moan ice cream sellers.
Right. Yeah, well, you don't want that for you want it to, with a flake, it needs to be a happy medium, Rob. It needs to be a certain consistency. Can't be too hard, can't be too soft. Do you remember those adverts, probably when we were growing up, Rob, where, Cadbury's advert for a flake was a woman in the bar, really quite enjoying herself with that flake.
Yeah, yeah.
She would run her toe under she'd run her toe under the tap as it was still running water, and she'd sit and eat. I don't know if anybody actually ever did eat a flake in a bath, and strange.
No, it was a very sensual advert, Alex, I must admit.
Yeah.
It often created a lot of images in my mind, mainly to do with chocolate. Anyway, look, so Britain's ice cream sellers have got 99 problems, and Cadbury's flakes being too crumbly is top of the list. So vendors say that vendors say they've seen quality plummet since production of the chocolate switched to Egypt. I didn't know that flakes were made in Egypt, Alex.
Nor did I. And also, I just want to say to listeners that the me talking about Quality Street and now talking about Cadbury's Flake was in no way planned.
No.
As should be obvious to anybody listening to this podcast for any amount of time. But okay. No, I did not know that flakes are made in Egypt, and it's just very bizarre. Like, it's just very odd. Is it really... Are we really... Can we really not make flakes in the UK or somewhere similar?
No, right, not anymore. So, parent company Mondelez International said the issue had been addressed, but warned older stock might still be in circulation. That doesn't help those paying top money for a box of shards.
Shards?
Yeah, apparently that's how they're referred to, shards.
What, flake shards?
Yeah, because obviously I think they're smaller, aren't they? 99 flakes.
Right. I thought they just took them and broke them in half. I didn't know that they... Okay.
That's a good point, yeah. For a box of shards, says John Taylor, owner of CM Creamy Ices. Not a great name. You can't give someone a nice name with a broken flake. It's embarrassing for an ice cream man, he said.
Hang on a minute. Stop. It's embarrassing for an ice cream man. I hate to break it to you, mate, but being an ice cream man is embarrassing. What embarrasses me, Rob? When did I notice it first? It was only like February, right? The winter was over, and it was still really cold, and the sun came out, and I just heard a hopeful ice cream van meandering down the street. I know we've spoken about this before, Rob, but what a life. I always envisage ice cream men. They're sitting around from between, I don't know, October to March, just in a vest and some underwear in front of the TV, and the wife's like, don't worry, it'll pick up, and he's like, stop telling me that! And then...
Alex,
then it comes to spring.
This country.
He sees a bit of the sun, and he's like, she's like, it's not worth it. And he's putting on the overalls, he's loading up the ice cream man, and there's something so depressing about it. And the fact that you've got this very, very suspiciously, sort of copyright infringed imagery all over your ice cream man, and you're playing a song to attract kids, and you're going down the street hoping that you can get kids to buy your shitty fucking ice cream. It's look. I think we've spoken about it before. Have you ever seen the Peter Kay episode that he did? Peter Kay, it was a half-hour pseudo documentary thing where he's an ice cream man.
Yes, I did. Yes,
it's absolutely when he loses it and he starts chucking the ice creams at people out the window. Is one of the greatest moments ever in television history.
Alex, I've really taken offence to what you've been saying over the last couple of minutes.
Okay.
First of all, you need to grow up and back Britain.
Okay.
Because I feel that being an ice cream man is a fine British tradition that's been in this country for hundreds of years, I think. And I feel the life of an ice cream man, much like a milkman, is ingrained in the British psyche. So, yeah.
Okay.
Stop running your ice cream man down!
Okay. All right.
So anyway, Lawrence Glasser, owner of Lorenzo's Ice Creams in East Yorkshire, describes it as a big issue and has resorted to more creative measures. Often at least a quarter of the boxes are unusable. I now serve trays of ice cream and sprinkles bits of flake on top. I shouldn't have to do that. I'm fed up with the wastage. Mr. Glazier said that whilst his first choice remains Cadbury's Flake, when they are unusable, he turns to a German alternative marked as milk chocolate flake sticks.
German milk flake chocolate sticks.
Milk chocolate flake sticks, yes.
In brackets, German alternative. Really like
customers don't seem to mind, though. The German ones are a lot denser and they don't seem to fall apart as easily, which is also true of... no, I'm not going to say that. So, husband and wife team Martin North and Abby Beach have reported similar issues, and some weeks don't bother to stock flakes in their business bios. When they do, he has to explain to disgruntled customers why their topping crumbles. You physically can't get the flakes into the ice cream. As soon as you pick them, they fall apart.
Rob,
it's not good when they're paying £16 a box.
Rob, I've had enough of this. Like,
what, Alex? This is affecting the average man on the street, Alex.
So you reckon if I went and asked an ice cream man, he'd be like, he'd just give me, as soon as I asked him about it, he'd just be half an hour of complaining about it. Like, it's well known within the trade.
About the quality of his flakes, Alex. Yes. This is cutting into their margins, Alex. These people are struggling, as you already said.
Why do some people call it a Mr. Whippy and some people call it a 99 flake?
Or Softy?
Yeah, Mr. Softy.
I don't know. I really don't. I haven't got a clue. Don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but Alex, look, I think we've come enough for that story. We know what's happening to these poor ice cream men. I for one, just hope that things improve for them and they can really get their sticks into the ice cream going forward.
Well, on that hopeful note, Rob, we bring this episode of LA Podcast, episode 394, would you believe? Rob, we're hurtling towards episode 400 here. You do realise that we still haven't yet quite planned what we're going to do for it, so we need to actually give that some thought, because that's not many episodes, mate. Just to bring that home to you.
No, it's really not, is it? It is coming up thick and fast. Is that an expression? Yeah,
I don't know what you. Yeah, no. Don't want to talk about. Gone from camp talking about chocolate flakes to thick and fast, and it's all a bit.
My thick stick. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not great.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll be back in a week's time. If you want to donate to the worthy cause that is this podcast, and it is a worthy cause because we keep you entertained and we need money to keep it afloat. We've got running costs and we would really appreciate your support. Be a supporter of this podcast by going to lapodcast.net. There's a PayPal button in the top right hand corner. And if you do donate one time or do a rolling donation, you do get something for that, because we've got lots of episodes that aren't on the main feed anymore of Local Anesthetic and Extra Jab. There are about 45 episodes of those, and of course Daft Talk, Rob, if you're interested. Don't have to have them. You might say to us, well, I want to give a donation, but I don't want your extra episodes. Don't really enjoy the podcast. Just doing a good deed.
And I'll say, shove your money. That's not true. I won't say that. We appreciate every penny.
Okay. God bless.
And keep it local.